All right, guys. So a common narrative that comes from the mainstream liberal media is that conservatives, right-wingers, or Republicans, they are active threats to this country, okay? Domestic terrorist threats, right? Because our rhetoric is actively putting people in danger, okay? Like, for example, they say that misgendering is a form of violence, okay? That it contributes to violence against trans people, okay? This is what they say. The latest act of claiming victimhood is the left claiming that Elon Musk is putting Twitter employees who are responsible for the censorship of former President Trump and the Hunter Biden story. Elon Musk releasing these files is putting them in some type of danger. Okay, we all know that this is actually really just an exaggeration and a projection. Okay, because ultimately the goal is to silence dissent, okay, and to stop people from being able to talk about what is clearly evidence of collusion between a political party, a government, and big tech. Again, this is a projection because the reality is that most of the political violence in this country actually comes from the left, okay? As we've seen throughout the last at least 3 years now, a vast majority of the political violence in this country comes from the left. Anybody telling you anything different is not actually paying attention to what is going on. They have been responsible, again, for most of the political violence. BLM riots, Antifa riots, Roe v. Wade riots. Again, those three things combined, there's nothing from the right that tops those three things, okay? There's nothing from the right that even tops the BLM riots, okay? So with that being said, the people who should actually really be fearing for their lives on a daily basis are people that push back against the woke regime, okay? People like Elon Musk, who has tried to make free speech great again in his own image. Again, not everybody is satisfied with Elon Musk and what he's done with Twitter in regards to free speech, but one thing's for sure, he's definitely pissed off the left, okay? To the point where the Biden White House says they're keeping an eye on Twitter, okay? The left has said that Elon Musk is a threat to democracy. He's a white supremacist, right? He's in bed with Trump. They smeared him with every political dog whistle that they can in order to signal to their base that Elon Musk is a bad person, right? Which has led to Elon Musk coming out and saying, hey, the risk of me being assassinated is quite significant. As in, I feel like my life is in danger because of what I am doing. Which, in my opinion, is a lot more legitimate claim than anything that the left has been claiming in regards to being victims, or that, you know, somehow, some way, you know, some right winger is going to attack them or commit some act of violence against them. Again, I'm not saying it's not possible, but the people who really have to fear for their lives are people who push back against the establishment. If you're in bed with the establishment, you're fine, right? You're fine. Anybody who may have any dirt on the establishment, pushes back on the establishment, you're the people who really got to worry, okay? Because a lot of people are concerned that Elon Musk could possibly go the way of Epstein, okay? I mean, I'm just being real. This is what people are concerned about, because we know that these people on the left, again, they tend to resort to violence in order to achieve their political goals, right? Which, again, has not been addressed by the mainstream liberal media or the Democrat Party. And you can argue that they're responsible for this, okay? As we got to talk about another prominent person who is not really on the right, or they don't claim to be on the right. They claim to be a moderate. Tim Pool. He claims that one of his houses got shot up. As you know, Tim Pool has been the victim of numerous doxing attempts over the last few months. I would say 5 or 6 months or so. He got doxed live, like doing a live stream. It was kind of crazy. Again, you got crazy people out there who are basically going after people who they disagree with politically. And a lot of these victims seem to be people that are at least not with the left, right? They ain't necessarily right, but they're not with the left. And it seems the people they don't like the most are people that are in the middle. As Tim Pool said, there's a 9mm bullet dodged in my kitchen. Now, I can't say I'm surprised this happened after the wave of doxing and threats made against us. Early today, he said, just got word that a crew broke into one of our properties. They are lucky to be alive. After nearly being struck by a 9mm, they panicked and dropped their belongings and fled the property. Please stay the F away from my buildings. This is WV and you will get hurt. I mean, holy ish, you have to be insane to break into a WV house. Not only do we have guns, we have like really big ones. Could you imagine breaking into a house and there's some right-wing nut job with a Barrett M81A pointed at you yelling yeehaw? No one got hurt. Police are on the scene. Yeah, so again, thank God that nobody that was a part of Tim's crew or, you know, his employees got hurt. It seems like what he's saying is that the house was shot at, okay? Which is kind of crazy to think about. Again, this is the type of stuff that happens in a politically charged environment. And obviously, when you are a public figure, you're going to have people that get mad and upset. And they're going to take that anger out on you, okay? Again, this is absolutely insane. Now, again, we don't know if the bullet is from him or is it from, you know, the intruder. We really don't know. I'm assuming it's from the intruder. I guess Tim is going to talk about this tonight, right? And then we have Andy No, who gives a little bit more background here. The repeated publishing of Tim Pool's address and violent threats on his life came from far left and militant queer activists angry over his comments about the Colorado gay club shooting by a trans non-binary suspect. Yeah. So again, just more background on this, right? People on the left, progressives like TYT, Anna Kasperi, and Cenk Yogurt, they went on unhinged rants against Tim Pool, basically blaming him for the deaths of those innocent people after the Colorado mass shooting. They blamed it all on Tim Pool, okay? And it's rants like this that are defamation, and what I would define as a lot closer to incitement of violence than anything that they claim that is incitement of violence on the right, like, for example, misgendering, right? If you're going to say that speech is incitement of violence, this is probably as close as you can get, okay? What TYT said here, and I want to play some of it because, again, this is just hate and vitriol being spewed from their platform, but they're complaining about the right not being responsible with our platform and the things that we're saying, but they're being extremely reckless, okay? I want to play this.
Consenting adults can do whatever the hell they please. They don't need your goddamn permission. Oh, do we need permission from grifters now to enjoy our adult lives? Is that what we need? I need permission from Beanie Boy Tim Pool to go to a drag show?
And by the way,
shut up and sit down, Tim. How about that? How about that? Always involved in everyone's personal life and personal business. Didn't say a peep when it came to Roy Moore fondling 13-year-old girls and molesting them. Not a peep, because it's all about political power. It's all about getting your guys elected into Congress. And don't give me any of that garbage about how, no, I'm not on the right. I'm not on the right. I just spew right-wing propaganda all day and all night. I'm not on the right. Shut up and sit down.
That. I'm not debating that. He's a monstrous right-winger. He's a terrible, terrible person. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, look, on jaywalking, I'm progressive. But you know, I think we should all gay people are pedophiles and groomers, and we should all attack them and just do all these horrible things so we can goad our lunatic audience. And yes, Tim Pool, Matt Walsh, Tucker Carlson, you all have lunatics in your audience and you weaponize them and you know it. I mean, look at him. I'll finish the tweet to be fair. How do we prevent the violence and stop the grooming, he says. Oh, in other words, well, I didn't quite like the way he murdered all those people, but hey, I really like the fact that he attacked these people that I'm calling groomers based on nothing. I mean, he said it, Club Q had a grooming event. He said, it's not a goddamn grooming event, you monster. Okay, so what is a drag queen? A drag queen is someone who dresses in a way you don't like. Are you insane? Are you insane? Why do you care how they dress? Why do you care? It has nothing to do with kids.
You should go.
Maybe we don't like the way you goddamn dress with your stupid dumb beanie, okay? So what is it? Should we call you groomer, pedophile? And then say, oh, I know somebody should do something to stop Tim Pool. He's wearing a beanie. He's a monster. He probably molests little kids because of his stupid beanie. Okay, we don't do that because unlike you, we're not trying to get people killed. Unlike you, we're not monsters who are constantly attacking people who are gay and in the LGBTQ community. I'm sick of these right-wingers. Look at it, they're almost celebrating it. I mean, he nearly brought goddamn pom-poms to the shooting.
Listen, if you have problems.
Yeah, so you heard that, right? Again, defamation, and in my opinion, he's saying that Tim Pool celebrated the Colorado mass shooting, which is just not true. I mean, that's just a flat-out lie. what do you think people's response is going to be to that, right? The people in their audience who, again, the liberal media wants to pretend like these people can't be radicalized to commit acts of violence, even though they are literally radicalized to commit acts of violence. We literally have seen it, okay, for the last 3 years straight. What do you think they're going to do? Okay, you think that they're just going to be like, oh, well, this guy Tim Pool, he's responsible for all these gay people getting shot up, and he's celebrating it. Yeah, I'm just saying. He talks about the radicalization of people on the right. Again, I'm not saying there haven't been any political violence that have come from people on the right, but again, it's really few and far between. Okay, but you have people on the left who are always, in my opinion, resulting to violence when things don't go their way. Which side of the political aisle is more likely to be charged up from rhetoric like this? Because people on the right are not spewing rhetoric like this. Nobody's smearing all gays as groomers, right? That's not what's happening. That is a straight up straw man that Cenk is using on purpose in order to, again, make Tim Pool seem like somebody who hates the LGBTQ community, and he incited that to happen, and he's celebrating it. Again, which is a flat out lie. He's putting Tim Pool's life in danger by spreading these lies. He really is. He actually really is. Right? Again, it's just kind of crazy how that works, because that's the crux of what they're complaining about, but they're doing it back to Tim Pool. But it really doesn't have anything to do with what Tim Pool says. It has more to do with the fact that they're jealous of Tim Pool. They're mad that Tim Pool is somebody that used to claim to be a left-winger. Maybe he still is. More of a moderate now. Might as well be on the right. But they're mad that Tim Pool is more successful than them, right? Even though he used to be on their side. Same thing with Dave Rubin. They do the exact same thing to Dave Rubin. They hate Dave Rubin because Dave Rubin used to be a progressive, and then he's on the other side and he's doing way better than they're doing, right? They're upset. So they smear him, and they won't stop talking junk about him. They hate the guy simply because he's more successful than they are. This is all jealousy and hate. Jealousy and hate is what's leading to people like Tim Pool having to worry about his house being swatted and crazy lunatics basically trying to shoot up his house, right? But again, these are people that want to pretend like, oh, this doesn't happen. Left-wingers don't do this. When it's like, bruh, that's all I see when it comes to political violence. It's insane. It really is. People like Cenk Uyger and Anna Kasparian and all these other leftists that smear Tim Pool and people on the right, when incidents like this happen and then they get out of hand, they're going to have blood on their hands, man. They're going to have blood on their hands. Because the rhetoric they're putting out there is actually really an incitement of violence. That's actually what it is. Because the rhetoric and lies they're putting out there, if you're going to define something as incitement of violence, this actually is as close as it gets without just flat out calling for violence. It's irresponsible. And quite honestly, Tim Pool should sue him. Matt Walsh should sue him. Tucker Carlson should sue him for everything they're worth. They ain't worth that much. Can't be that hard to put them out of business. I'm just saying. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.